Hey guys, it's Ilana and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd just sit on my bed today and talk about having sex on the first date. So with this video, I'm going to discuss 3 different things. Is it bad? What will happen after you sleep with someone too soon? Is it something you should do? 3, my own biases and personal experiences with this whole situation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. From time and time again, you'll hear people say like, ladies, don't have sex with a man too soon. He's just gonna lose interest in you. Make him wait. He won't respect you anymore if you sleep with him on the first date. I wanna tell you something. Don't listen to any of that information because it's bad advice and it's a load of horse. Some men may not respect you if you sleep with them too soon. That is their own problem because those are their own thoughts and beliefs. And those are probably the men who should have told you to begin with that, hey, we shouldn't have sex on the first date. So that's his own problem for not telling you, sleep with me too soon, I'm not gonna respect you. Well, I don't think you're respecting yourself. That's a big double standard when it comes to that whole stuff and people thinking like, oh, you're being too easy, blah, 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 blah. So I kind of want you to just like eliminate all those negative things that you've heard from other people because it's not true. I don't think it's bad if you sleep with someone on the first date. I think what's really important is that how comfortable you are with sleeping with that person on the first date. I do think it is bad if you sleep with someone just for the wrong reasons. You need to be true with yourself and what you want. Are you someone that's exploring their sexuality? Do you just want sex? Because at the end of the day, women love sex just as much as men love sex, if not maybe even a little bit more. I think it's only fair that women can enjoy having sex just as much as a guy wants to have sex because it is in our own right to discover our own sexuality and what we like. I don't think it's bad, but you definitely don't want to be having sex with someone for the wrong reasons, and then I can see why it could be bad. You want to do it because it's something that you are comfortable with, which will lead me into the next thing. Should you have sex on the first date? If you are enjoying all these videos really quick, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below as I talk about being a single girl navigating this crazy dating world and also talking about being a bikini competitor, living a healthy lifestyle in San Francisco. Should you have sex on the first date? It's literally just going to depend on the person. And I don't want you to think that if you sleep with someone on the first date that they are going to immediately lose interest. Because the people that usually do lose interest and they ghost you after you have sex with them, it's because they were never non-physically attracted to you in the first place. So clearly this person really just liked you because you were physically attracted to them and nothing more. They didn't even really get to care about you as a person. So I think it's really important to know what the intentions are of that person, and that can lead you to decide whether you want to sleep with them or not. And sometimes they may want a relationship and you have sex with them and they realize like they're not interested, and that could just simply be like that maybe they weren't sexually attracted to you in the first place, because sexual chemistry is super important. And I know that's been a reason as to like why people will ghost each other or lose interest in one another after you have sex so early on is due to sexual chemistry, because that's super important to have in a relationship. So you can solve this problem or avoid this problem by asking, hey, do you just want sex from me, or do you want to continue getting to know me and see where this will go? A, that doesn't waste your time, and B, you get to know what their true intentions are and if that person really just wants you for sex. So keep that in mind. I think it's really important to know if you want to have sex with that person, know their intentions. You really are comfortable and you feel that there is a good vibe going on between you and that person, and you are confident that this person is actually non-physically attracted to you. I think you should go for it. Absolutely go for it. Have sex. See what happens. If you don't hear from them in a few days, you can send them a follow-up. I would not wait for the other person to get back to you and have control over the whole situation. just because you had sex with them. That's not fair to you. It's okay if you want to have some of that control in the situation because you want to know if that person wants to see you again. And if they don't reply back, you could send one more follow-up, I'd say like 3 days at least. And if they still just don't reply back, then you know that it's their loss and you can move on with your life. But at least like the positive is like, well, hey, I got sex. Don't think of it as like, oh, I was used for sex. I don't want people to think as having sex as a way to get used, because then that is literally just going to make having sex like such a daunting negative situation for others. And sex should be an enjoyable thing. It can be casual, it can be serious, but you want to do what is going to be best for you and what you're comfortable with. Some people have a really hard time like understanding that. With me personally, I have my own set of morals that I'm going to get into in just a second. You have to think of what you stand for in your own terms and if you are respecting yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself, no one else is gonna respect you. So you just have to decide for yourself if someone is even worth having sex to you. And if you think that sleeping with someone on the first date is going to immediately lock down a relationship, you are so wrong. Do not have that mindset at all. Because that is literally you setting yourself up for disappointment. If you are the kind of person that wants to be in a relationship and you have sex with someone, you need to take a breather. Don't feel like you have to wait until you're in a relationship, because some people may not even want to wait with you that long. And you can tell a person, hey, like I only have sex when I'm in relationships. Hello. You can tell people that you're only interested in having sex with them if they're in a relationship. See how they respond. If they're like, then that person clearly doesn't respect you, and that is not someone that you want to have sex with. And technically, you did the right thing by not having sex with them, because then that clearly shows what their true colors were and what their real intentions were. So it's really important to speak up about things like this. So now I'm going to quickly go into my personal biases and experiences with his own subject. I have actually never had sex on the first date. If anything, I have always been the kind of person that's actually had sex on the second date, or I've gotten physically intimate with someone on the second date. Usually just like the physical contact has not happened until the second date. In grad school, I went out with this one guy and it took multiple dates for us to get physical. No like sexual chemistry, there was no non-physical chemistry. It was just overall a bad match, and I can see why this person was no longer interested in me. And then here in San Francisco, when I've gone on dates and I've gotten physically intimate with someone, it's always been on the second date. I'm not saying like I wouldn't be down to have sex on the first date. It's gonna depend on the guy and whether I think he is worthy of having sex with. I've mentioned before that I am very particular with who I want to have sex with. I do not have sex with every single guy that I go on a date with or every single guy that I meet, because I want to see, is your personality awesome enough? Because I want to have sex with someone that I'm also non-physically attracted to as well. Yes, physical attraction is very important, but if your personality is just not there, I'm not going to want to sleep with you. So you have to have a pretty awesome personality for me to want to sleep with you. And I feel like I have had poor judgment on one guy who I probably should have never slept with, because he kept constantly commenting on how good looking I was, and I had sex with him, and then after 2 or 3 days after it happened, it fizzled out and nothing happened. And I'm quite thankful, because he was just never a good match. He literally just saw me as a piece of meat and not as a person. And as far as the other guy goes, personally, I think the sexual chemistry was just not there, and the non-physical attraction there was just not strong enough. And then another guy that I only got sexually intimate with, but we didn't have sex, that didn't happen until the second date. We did meet up one more time, and I did sense hesitation from him, and I could see that he was just not interested. I could sense it. I think there was personality clashes. I feel like I am now getting better and better at whether someone or not actually wants to continue talking to me, based off how the conversation goes. I just want you to be empowered and take control of the situation. Because if you don't take control of the situation, you let someone else take control of the situation, you're gonna continue to stay single, you're not gonna get what you want, And I honestly just think that it's best that you just breathe after you have sex with someone. You can tell that this person really does like you, and they also tell you that they're going to text you when you kind of talk about something a week in advance. Let them text you. And if they haven't contacted you within that week that they said that they were going to contact you, then it's okay to follow up and kind of give them a little reminder, because sometimes people need that. But until then, it's really going to be your best judgment, and it's going to be what you want and what makes you comfortable. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Do you have sex on the first date? Do you wait until the second date? Do you wait until you're married? Let me know. I want to know your thoughts. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.